Joe,
as of late
I'm wearing black today because I'm in mourning.
for the
That
Spurs.
was a brutal Spurs loss last time. I'm still wearing the team colors, but
Yeah.
that was a brutal loss. So I got to get my Celsius ready.
Oh man,
We got to talk Spurs.
You know what? I need to clear the cache and cookies in this browser. Google Chrome is weird, bro.
Yeah.
Like when we start the timer, it doesn't show like we have the timer going. It takes a while.
Yeah, like the last 30 seconds.
Weird.
It pops
Yeah,
off.
dude.
Yeah.
Freaking weird. So we got the chat popping. Real Bobby February's here. Hey, what's up?
Sam's in. Caps,
Sam.
Matt Gomez.
What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
Sohan's got to go. Here we go already, dude. We knew it was going to happen. I mean, that's Mitch's fault. That's Mitch's boy. Why the hell would you put Sohan in and then have him shoot a three-pointer? Come on, man.
That was a terrible game.
Oh, it was awful.
Like Charles Barkley would say, terrible game.
Terrible, dude. That's on Mitch, dude. This L is on Mitch and that coaching staff.
Hey,
didn't call a timeout. I mean, come on, man.
I have been the I'm with you, Mitch. I have been a stan for Mitch Johnson the entire season. Last night's game was the worst coach game of the year.
It was bad. What's up, Greg?
Toro Loco, I like that name. What's going on? Good morning.
Toro Loco.
Like
that is a catchy name.
It's like the Fideo Loco over at Alamo Cafe.
You know where I went to eat the other day on Saturday?
What's that?
The new Taco Planeque. That's right around the corner from me. I had the Pirata Taco, and it was good.
We're rising together on a Wednesday. Yes, this is the Area 210 podcast powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. It is half off bottles of champagne, half off bottles of wine all day today at PF Chang's La Cantera. Go tell Sean we said hi and that we sent you. We're in black, Joe. As I mentioned, we're in mourning today because the Spurs lost a brutal game yesterday to the Memphis Grizzlies on the road, 106-105. It's a game in which we did not see Wemby the last 3.5 minutes of the game, despite the fact that he had 30 minutes played, 30 points scored, rather, in 21 minutes played. It was a brutal stretch down the way. I have been a big supporter and a big advocate of Mitch Johnson. I think he's doing a fantastic job as head coach this year. This was the worst coach game that he has had all season long. And there is something amiss about this team. I know they've won 7 out of 11 games, so it's not like they've losing all these games, but they've lost to teams they should have beaten, right? Beyond this game, who else was there, Joe? It was Utah that they lost to.
Yeah, Utah, Portland.
Okay, these are games that they could have and should have won, and you're not going to win all 82 games.
Yeah, but they're losing to the teams with 500 records or less, you know?
So what is the problem with this? Because I went off on Sohan last night on Twitter, mentioning the fact that he has missed 16 or 17 straight three-pointers in a row. Remember when he started off strong, Joe? He made 7 out of 12, 7 out of 13, and everyone was all excited. Oh, man, he was in the gym all summer long perfecting that shot. And where's he at now,
came
Joe?
out and said, I'm still here, Sohan.
And where's he at now, Joe? 24.1% for the season, a career low. And you know what? I fear that we have Jeremy Sohan 2.0 on the roster right now. His name is Carter Bryant. At one point in the game yesterday, Joe, one point in the game, the Spurs were tied 61-61, third quarter. Then they tried out a lineup out there of Wemby, okay, Keldon Johnson, okay, Jeremy Sohan, Carter Bryant, and Jordan McLaughlin. The Spurs went 2-on-5 offensively. And I know people are like, well, Jordan McLaughlin hit his one jumper attempt that he did. Yes, he did. But he's also 6 feet tall, which means he's 5'10". That being said, Joe, the lineups were awful yesterday. And down the stretch, when the Spurs needed a bucket to win the game, De'Aaron Fox got swatted. When they needed a bucket to get the game, they had a lineup up there. Luke Cornett with Jeremy Sohan, Champagny, who had a good game, Fox, and it was just a clunky lineup down the stretch. Keldon on the lineup at the stretch as well. This was a game which De'Aaron Fox played like garbage. This was a game where Stephon Castle fouled out on a How do you foul out on a jump ball? You know what's going on, Joe?
This was bad news bears, bro. That's what it was yesterday.
Joe, do you know what's going on?
What?
This team got arrogant.
Oh, man.
We got to call it what it is. They got arrogant, and they started feeling themselves. They started seeing the national recognition. They started feeling themselves, and they're getting put back down to earth. And guess what, Joe? Now the target's on their back.
Yeah, well, they wanted to go ahead and, beat their chest when they beat OKC 3 in a row. They were like, yeah, we beat OKC. This is our Super Bowl. And then look what happened after that. They kind of fell off, but they did destroy OKC in a sense because OKC hasn't fared much better too since the Spurs whooped them in their own gym.
Playing
but
500 ball for the better part of a month.
Yeah, the Spurs just seem like they've gotten a little lackadaisical. They've gotten lazy. But if you look at these numbers here, De'Aaron Fox, man, he didn't have a good game by any stretch of the imagination. -18. Luke Cornett was a -3. Stephon Castle was a -3. Carter Bryant, -11, and then you look at Kelly Olynyk. He was only there for 9 minutes, but -12. I mean, this team was booty crumbs last night, especially in crunch time. And this L, you can pin it on Mitch Johnson. Didn't call a timeout, left stupid Jeremy Sohan's dumbass in there. He's a detriment to the team because he can't shoot. Take his dumbass out. Put Wemby in the last 15 seconds of the damn game.
Oh, no. Sohan got somebody on an 8-second violation, backcourt violation, and all the Jeremy Sohan stands out there just got all excited about it. Great, he had a defensive play. Now go make a bucket, which he can't do.
He can't.
Dude, he can't catch a pass. The one assist that he had to Fox, it was by accident. It was because he couldn't catch the ball, and Fox cut in and he caught him. Dude, I mean, Jeremy Sohan, I am sorry, is not an NBA player.
What was Mitch doing last night? Was he trying to shave the points? I mean, what's he trying to do, man? He's trying to lose the game?
No. As much as I want to give grief to Mitch Johnson, because when the Spurs win, it's not because of Mitch, it's because of players, right? When the Spurs lose, it's not because of the players, it's because of Mitch. We can't do that. We can't be hypocritical about that. The fact of the matter is that the players play like trash. We need one of the guys to go off alongside Wemby. Wemby, 30 points yesterday, shot well, 10 of 20, made 3 3-pointers. You had Champagny, he knocked down 5 3-pointers. He was looking good in the first half. But when you have De'Aaron Fox go 4 for 18 and 1 of 7 from 3, when you have Castle foul out going 5 for 14 shooting, and when you have Dylan Harper shooting 2 for 7, I mean, that's 11 for 39. Our big 3 guards, 11 for 39 and no Devin Vassell.
Look at that. Real Bobby February. Mitch needs the chancla. Bad coaching last night. All Spurs fans, we're there and we're just armchair, GMs. We're armchair coaches, and we're sitting down and we're seeing what's happening and we're going to call a spade. And it was just bad. It was bad all around. It was a bad game, poorly coached. I mean, you could go on and on and on. This was just, like you said, one of the ugliest losses that the Spurs had this season, because this is a game that they could have easily won. They just gave it away. They gave it away in crunch time.
It was arrogance, Joe.
Yeah.
The Spurs are getting arrogant on the court, and you can tell by the body language that Castle's feeling himself, that De'Aaron Fox is feeling himself.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things. It was an ugly game to watch because it was like a train wreck. It's like, dude, you're better than this team. Just do something. And then when I saw that lineup of Carter Bryant, Sohan, and McLaughlin, okay, if you're going to play any of those guys, they should not be in together, okay? You should never have 2 of those guys together, much less all 3 in at the same time. Carter Bryant. We talk about how Jeremy Sohan can't shoot for crap. Carter Bryant's worse than him. When are we going to draft guys that know how to shoot? Again, Our GM, Brian Wright, when he's drafting 1, 2, 3, or 4, knows what to do. But when he's drafting 9 and below, and we have a pick from Atlanta with a swap this year, currently slotted at the 12 spot, is he going to know what to do? Or is he going to go out there and get in love with some athleticism? I hate that, Joe. I hate it when you fall in love with athleticism, because that's when you pick up a Jordan. That's when you pick up a Jeremy Sohan. That's when you pick up a Carter Bryant. You just fall in love with the athleticism. And oh my God, they're so good defensively. Let's see if we can get them to play offense. And guess what? They can't. You know why?
Speaking of athleticism, what do you call this? I call this dumbass.
I call it an accident waiting to happen, is what that is, Joe.
He's coming back from a knee injury, and then he's over here doing shenanigans like this, dude. Like, what's wrong with this?
What was the word? What was the word I mentioned, Joe?
Dumbass.
Arrogance. It is arrogance, Joe.
I saw this.
It is arrogance for him to do this. It is arrogance for Brian Wright and company to think that they can turn Jeremy Sohan and Carter Bryant into shooters when they can't.
I saw this yesterday, right? And you know what my reaction was?
What the fuck is this?
What are we doing? He's going to come down on his knee and hurt himself again.
Can you imagine if he did do that?
Oh, my God, dude.
You know,
would I be surprised? No.
Dude, and I mean,
Wemby needs the chancla for doing that, dude. I'm going to give him the chancla for doing that. And Wembeyaso gets the chancla for being a dumbass.
You know, I mean, dude, we got to throw 5 of them to Mitch Johnson for having awful lineups yesterday. And I usually back him up when it comes to a lot of the lineups. He did a pop thing where he did not call a timeout and have a set play. He gave it to De'Aaron Fox, who has been very clutch throughout his career. He's Mr. Clutch. But what did he do? What did De'Aaron Fox do in that play, Joe?
No.
He was triple teamed. He wasn't just guarded by one player. He got swatted from behind. He had a defender to the front, defender to the left, and a defender behind him. He, in essence, was triple teamed, which means he had 3 open players. But then again, are you going to throw it to that open player named Jeremy Sohan? Because is he going to knock down that bucket?
Hell no.
It was the arrogance that was De'Aaron Fox to say that I'm going to take it 1-on-3. And it was the arrogance of Coach Mitch Johnson to not call a timeout.
Hey, Mike, we do have a super chat that we need to address here by our old friend, the Drew Show. Drew Show is being good today, Drew? Man.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
So this is his $10 super chat. We appreciate it, Drew. New year, we unbanded Drew. Drew's welcome in the chat as long as he behaves.
All right. So you know what? It's kind of like
New year, new me.
It's kind of like those 2 skanks in Forrest Gump on New Year's Eve, when they're like, you know what the great thing about New Year's Eve? It's all brand new beginnings. We all get a second chance.
Get a reset.
so we have put all of Drew Show's mistakes, and we've dumped them into the trash bin, and we've emptied out the trash on the computer, right? Brand new beginning. But thank you for coming back. He says on the super chat, $10, has any coach so swiftly embarrassed himself after winning coach of the month like Mitch, and by doing the dimmest thing as not putting the guy back who just scored 30 points in 21 minutes? Simulator coach. It was bad. It was arrogance, Drew. And that's a very good point, because he did win coach of the month. I believe he went 11-4 in the month of December. He deserved to be the coach of the month. You can't take that away from him. But watching the game play, okay, I'm using the word arrogance for a reason. It's because of body language. The body language of December for the Spurs was, we need to go out there and prove ourselves. And the body language that I see out there from Stephon Castle, when I see it from De'Aaron Fox, when I see it from a lot of these players, is we have arrived. They are coming out there expecting things to happen as opposed to working for things to happen. There's something bad about that, Joe. And what ends up happening, they play down to their competition, and they let other teams in, and they have the target on their back. how Oklahoma City was our Super Bowl or our NBA Finals. Well, guess what? We're some other teams. And a lot of the teams that we're playing, we only play once or twice a year on the road.
Yeah.
And the fans get amped up to go see Wemby. They get amped up to go see this team.
Yeah, they
And
know
I
they're
don't
not making the playoffs, Miker. They're not playing for anything this season. And if they beat a good team, the fans go, "Yeah, we own you. We won."
At least we got that one, right?
Yeah,
It's like Cowboy
exactly.
fan who's like, yeah, I know we didn't make the playoffs, but we beat the Eagles at one time,
We beat the Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs. We beat Mahomes.
So, I mean, Joe, we have another super chat that we'll address in a second, but let's get into the whole Jeremy Sohan situation, because he not only sniffed the court, but he actually got some run yesterday. Jeremy Sohan getting his fans all excited when he got somebody on a backcourt violation, and oh my God, he got 6 rebounds. But
you know
Joe,
what they said, Mike? Mira Sohan. Mira Sohan.
he's back.
Yeah, but then what happened at the end of the game? Now they're ready to throw him to the wolves.
He brought impact. He brought impact. You know what? Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 posted earlier today a quote from head coach Mitch Johnson. A quote that really pissed me off.
I think I know where you're going with this, dude.
It says, quote, I thought Jeremy Sohan was excellent. Again, the box score, like the real score, can be misleading. I thought he was a huge positive force, way more than whatever the box score says. Mitch Johnson on Sohan's play versus Memphis. That's according to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. So I'm going to say that again. The box score, like the real score, can be misleading. I thought he was a huge positive force. Okay, when I read that, guess what I want to do? I want to take this phone and throw it to the other side of the room, off the wall, because guess what? Intangibles don't win the games, right? Do you know what the box score shows you? What do we say about numbers, Joe?
We say women lie, people lie, the numbers, they don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
This is what Jeff Garcia had posted. I found the tweet here. So there it is, man.
Yeah,
this is from Mitch Johnson.
There it is. It's misleading. I thought he was a huge positive force. Okay, way to try to pump up his trade value, right? But the Spurs had been winning games with what? This dude not on there. Now, I know he was +6, ±. I get that. Yeah. But when you watch the game, Joe, at the end of the day, when you watch the game, what do you see when you have him out there? Because this is what I see. Everyone wants to say, well, he's a positive force because he brings the energy. He plays elite defense. First of all, he's not an elite defender. Quit that talk about him being an elite defender. He's not. He's a good defender. He's a good defender. He's an above average defender, but he is not an elite defender. Quit with that crap. Anyone who says that on Twitter sounds stupid.
Matt Lerma, ¿dónde estás?
He's an above average defender. He is not an elite defender, because if he was an elite defender, I'd be okay with him being craptastic offensively. But he's not elite.
You know what I did last night? As soon as I saw the Spurs take the L, I immediately picked up my phone and I called Matt Lerma. And I said, I'm still here, Sohan. And I was talking with him, busting his chops. And he's like, nah, bro, this and that. You know, we're just having a little discussion before he went on to do his spaces. But I thought it was funny nonetheless, because I had to call him and tell him, I'm still here, Sohan.
Caps210 reaches out to us on our chat powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera, saying his trade value would have been better on the bench. SR 2001 saying that Sohan and Olynyk might be a package. That is according to Zach Lowe from the Lowe Report over on the Lowe podcast on the Ringer, saying that those two could be packaged because they're both expiring deals. And you could keep Sohan as a restricted free agent if you trade for him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Joe, real fast, before we get into the super chat, watch Sohan offensively.
No, I don't
want watch him offensively. Watch what the defense does. The defense does everything but do an illegal defensive move on him. They have a defender. Joe, I was watching every single defensive play when he was out there. What do they do with Jeremy? They line him up with the left side three-point line. They line him on the right side three-point line. Guess how far the defender is away from him? On average,
far away, dude.
16 to 18 feet.
Yeah. Let him
means
shoot
what? Which means what? If they're 60 to 18 feet away from him, where are they actually at? They're in the
paint.
lane. They're in
Yeah.
the paint. They have 1 foot in the paint, 1 foot out of the paint, Joe. Almost an illegal defense, but not really. And here's the thing, Joe. Guess what that does? It does not allow for Fox to maneuver in there, or Harper or Castle
Can't
or
pass the ball.
anybody to drive in. It does not allow for Wemby to have a good shot down low. Basically, it clogs the paint.
No.
You are 4 on 5 offensively, and the sad thing is, Joe, we're going to have this conversation 24 months from now when we're doing episode 1200 about whether the Spurs should trade Carter Bryant because he's astastic as a shooter. Joe,
Maybe he might be in the mix too to go ahead and package deal for a trade, like gone.
Let's go through some stats from these guys, right?
Yeah.
Last night, Sohan and Bryant combined for 1 for 6 shooting. Okay. Jeremy Sohan for the year is shooting 24.1% from 3. This is year 4, right? That is his worst 3-point shooting for a season ever. Worse than his rookie year. Carter Bryant from the field, Joe. We're talking not only 3-point attempts, but also 2-point attempts. 31% from the field, Joe.
Oh.
These guys can't shoot. And the Spurs, Brian Wright, and whoever is making decisions about the draft needs to stop falling in love with quote-unquote athletes. He needs to fall in love with basketball players.
They need
because
ballers,
these
man. They need somebody
athletes
could shoot.
These athletes cannot make buckets. Look at who's shooting right now, right? Look at the rookies this year. Dylan Harper has been a good pick for the Spurs, right? But beyond Dylan Harper, we knew that VJ Edgecombe can shoot. And guess what he's doing for the Sixers? He can shoot. We knew that Con Knipple was a baller. Guess what he can do? He can put the ball in the hoop. If the Spurs ever draft somebody who cannot actually make a bucket and say we're going to try to develop their offensive game, just write them off. They just suck. They just call it what it is. Chip Anglin ain't walking through that door. The guy who fixed Tony Parker's shot, he is not walking through that door. We do not have.
You can't keep drafting
that.
You can't keep drafting players that have a busted shot to begin with. You need to bring people in that can shoot the damn ball, bro. Like, this is ridiculous already. You've seen what the Spurs' needs are. They need to go to the draft and address the needs. Yes, you have certain players that might fall to you, but at the end of the day, you need somebody that's going to be able to knock down an open shot. Jeremy Sohan can't be counted to do that, and neither can Carter Bryant. And he's a rookie, and he's not getting a lot of burn. Why? He's not ready. Mm-hmm. He ain't ready. Who knows if he'll ever pan out, but he's not ready right now. Ship him off to the Austin Spurs. Put somebody else out there. Give me DJG. What is his name? The guy from David Jones Garcia. Put him in there. I'd rather see him in there. Give him some run.
Joey Kahn coming out saying front office is trying to chase the high of developing Kawhi, but it's never happening again. Kawhi was developed by the Spurs into a superstar, but guess what? He averaged 14 points per game in college. So it's not like he was like some scrub in college. Spurs fans have this fantasy land that Kawhi Leonard was a defensive god in college, but when they gave him the basketball, he just looked at it like, what is this? It's round. I need to learn how to dribble. Like, he didn't have any skills come into the Spurs. He had offensive game coming to the Spurs. The Spurs made him better. They made a good player. Well, remember we talked about this the other day, Joe. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. She's out of my league. Remember?
Oh yeah.
About the 2-point disparity. I don't know. I somehow figured it out, Joe, because Chica is beyond 2 points hotter than me.
Beyond 2 points.
She is. You know that. She is.
More than 2, Mike.
So I'm Kawhi, right? I'm Kawhi. I jumped more than 2 spots. But again, if you are a 6 shooter in college, you could become an 8. If you're a 4, you can become a 6. If you're a 7, you can become a 9. Steph Curry didn't just develop a shot in the NBA. Steph Curry was a freaking god at Davidson shooting the rock, right? Klay Thompson was as well. You go from college as a shooter, you become a shooter in the pros. It is what it is. It translates over. You're a good defensive player in college. You're a good defensive player in the pros. It transfers on over. Again, it is the corollary of she's out of my league is that you can go up 2 spots. If you're a 5 at something, if you're a 5 ball handler, you can become a 7. Right? Yeah. You go 2 spots. What exactly was Jeremy Sohan and Carter Bryant on a scale of 1 through 10 as a shooter in college? 2s?
Yeah, they were basura, dude. Garbage.
Carter Bryant was maybe a 4,
Yeah.
right? So the best will ever be is a 6, which means the best will ever be is average as a shooter. And Sohan was a 2 in college. The best he's ever going to be is a 4. And guess what? He has regressed back to the 2. He went from a 2 to a 3, 3.5, and now he's back down to a 2. Cut them, but Carter Bryant, give him one more year. But my God, let's address the super chats, man. I'm so sorry, man.
It's all right. You went on a rant there.
Oh, it's been great.
There we go. JHNSB. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate you.
Yeah, he says Wemby's been on minutes restriction since his rookie debut in 2023. His whole career will remain like this. Can't blame Mitch for following medical staff.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
No lies detected.
We got another super chat incoming. This one's from Sam Salinas, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir.
He says, let's throw a chancla at the real villain here, Luke Cornett. Oh, my God. He says, he's the one who passed the ball to Sohan's dumbass.
He gets the chancla for that.
All right. I
Luke,
like it.
The big elote. You know, Mitch Johnson was on the bench watching that, and he's like, what the hell are you doing, man? So we got another super chat incoming too, and this one was from the Drew Show. So thank you, Drew. Appreciate you.
Here comes the money.
$10 super chat coming in from Drew Show. I read this. He tweeted this the other day, last night. He says a solid 9-man rotation was established, excluding Sohan and Carter Bryant. It beat OKC. It became Super 9 with Wemby. Simulator coaches have no feel for the game, and let's play Jeremy and Bryant. Again, not only did he play Jeremy and Bryant, he played Jordan McLaughlin, all three of them together, and guess what? They lost the lead, and a tie game became a 7-point deficit right away. But you know what? You know what, though, man? Sohan plays elite defense. Did you hear about that, Joe? He plays elite defense. You know what elite defense means? That he's like an A+++ defender. Dude, if he was an A+++ defender, he wouldn't have been out of the 9-man rotation. He's just an I defender, dude.
He wouldn't have the DNPs he did if he was that good. You know?
Exactly.
Like, come on, man.
Exactly. And I heard somebody tweet at me earlier today. I didn't know who it was, but I don't recall who it was. He said, well, we can have his elite defense and draft somebody else who scores. No! Guess what you need, Joe? You need 5 MFers who can play offense and 5 MFers who can play defense at the same time. This ain't the 80s, man. This isn't where you can have John Sally and Dennis Rodman out there.
Not the ABA, man.
This isn't Bill Cartwright, where
on.
you have all these players who were just one-dimensional players. Rick Mahorn. Come on, man. You can't have Kurt Rambis out there.
I haven't heard those names in a while. Mahorn, Rick Rambis. Remember the brother had his glasses taped in the middle and everything? Come on.
I mean, to some extent. Guess who else wouldn't survive in this league? And this is a 2000s player, Ben Wallace.
Probably.
Ben Wallace was Defensive Player of the Year, right? One of the best defenders of the 21st century. Couldn't make a bucket to save his life. You know what that buys you these days? A trip to the G League, Joe.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do both, man. You can't.
They would just lob him the ball back in the day. He couldn't even knock down his free throws, man. Come on,
dude. Okay, Carter Bryant shooting 31% from the field. If you took out his layups, you took out his dunks, I bet you it's in the teens, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, just to give you an example, that's the same shooting accuracy as a middle schooler.
And we do have some more super chats we got to address here. We got one coming in from the Drew Show here.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Thank you, Drew. And he says, who on the staff has played at the highest level? Question mark.
Corliss Williamson has. Corliss Williamson. What's it called? The Big Nasty?
Mm-hmm.
Corliss Williamson was 6th man of the year. But can he translate that into what Sohan or Carter Bryant needs? I don't know. It's his first year with the team. I do like having Corliss on the team, though. But he was Arkansas Razorback legend, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is. We got another incoming super chat. This one's from Jason Garcia.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Thank you, Jason.
$5 super chat says Brian Wright, hire a shooting coach for the love of an empanada. I like that. Because empanadas equal God, right? The love of the empanada, right? Um,
Look at the Midtown Texas. One of your favorite catchphrases, a thick six.
you know, okay, so at the end of the day, the loss is not on Sohan. The loss is not on Carter O'Brien or Jordan McLaughlin. We're highlighting that to show that the rotations were a little bit odd by Mitch Johnson yesterday.
Yeah.
Fox and Castle need to get their heads out of their butts and actually show some hunger out there, because there was some arrogant defense being played, some arrogant ball handling out there. And I don't,
Yeah.
and I say that, Joe, because as somebody who, and I know it's a different level, and I know it's several levels below, but I've officiated 6A varsity basketball, right? You can tell whenever somebody's doing well or they're on a hot streak, they have a swagger to how they dribble the ball, a swagger, a flair to how they pass the ball. They become a little bit full of themselves.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening when you become full of yourselves, the fundamentals go away. The normal things that you did to be hungry. Remember back when Mitch Johnson was talking about embrace the mundane? Those are being embraced.
That phrase right there. That's when he was on his hot streak,
Right. And it was early on. I mean, that was what against that might have been against the Mavericks in the first game of the season.
Yeah.
You have the hunger and desire to do well based on fundamentals and getting better. That was the brilliance, the greatness of Tim Duncan, was that he never left the fundamentals going. But you see the passing's different. The defense is different. They're not playing the way that they played in December and November. They're playing with a little bit more flair, and that's not a good thing, because that's not what got them to a hot start. Damn it.
Yeah. We do got another incoming super chat here we got to address from the Drew Show again. Appreciate you, Drew.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
$5 incoming super chat from the Drew Show, Mike.
Yeah, he says, meanwhile, non-simulator coach Ime Udoka in Houston calls a timeout and lets Kevin Durant shoot, beating the Suns. It's always been it was always Ime Udoka. Thanks, Pop. That's an interesting point, because I, too, was a big fan of Ime Udoka. And he went and had success in Boston before cheating on Nia Long.
No.
He in with a staffer from the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken. That's why he lost his job over there.
Yeah.
He
was being a cochino.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nia Long. I mean, come on, man. Do you really want somebody who's messing around with Nia Long? She's iconic.
There's a saying, Mike. He caught the scent of a worthier doe, bro. It happens.
Oh, dude, most of the time they're not worthy or does, man.
They just do bad things, Mike.
I remember back in the 90s when I was in the Spurs locker room and all that stuff, and you'd hear stories from like the media about which Spurs were cheating on who, like right back in the day. I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But then you'd see the girl, and they were nowhere near as attractive as the spouse. I'll never understand that, man. It happens all the time. People do that, and it's like they're nowhere near as attractive. It's just weird. Guys are weird, man. I think guys just cochino sometimes when it comes to it all.
Ime Udoka saw Miss Parker in Boston.
That's funny. That's what Miss Parker.
I want to hear names. Mexican Junior. Mexican Junior's funny, dude.
Yeah, Mexican Junior, when we go out for a beer. Speaking of going out for a beer, by the way, we're going to be celebrating a milestone here.
Yeah.
So
we got to go ahead and show this on screen here. The flyer just came out right now. So we're going to celebrate our 500th episode. We're going to have a 500 episode party, should I say, at the Little Woodrow's at 9840 West Loop 1604 on Saturday, January 24th. Our boy Sean was gracious enough to go out there and talk with the good people. So we got some places reserved for you guys, some 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll probably be out there until God knows when. But, we're going to be there. I'll be there. Mike will be there. And we're going to have some special guests. We can't say who they are, but if you show up, you'll be able to party with them.
I'm excited about the special guests because I know who they are.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just say it's worth going to. It is
yeah.
worth going to. Very nice. And there's other special guests that I'm going to be inviting. Let's see if we can get some of the fellas from Sports Star to be out there. I'll invite Ryan Nagel Minix and Pledger. See if they'll make it out there.
Oh
Uh,
man, don't invite Pledge. Me and Pledge get in trouble, bro.
oh, I know. He'll be 6 to 10, 10 to 2 over at the Rue Pub is what,
We'll
is what
be
it'll be.
at the Root Pub shutting it down at 3 a.m.
Hey, don't 2 a.m. is when they
No,
shut it
bro.
down. No, don't do that to him. Don't do that to that establishment, man. 2 a.m. is when they shut it down. 1:45's last call. I've been there. I've seen it. No, but again, Little Woodrow is a great place, man. It's a good location. They have the indoor venue, so no matter what the weather is, we'll be perfectly fine when it comes to it all. I'm expecting this, Joe. We had a really big party uh, early in our run here as a podcast for the Spurs draft.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be bigger. We had about 50, 60 people one time. Joe, I think we're going to pass this party.
Yeah.
I think we're going to pass that with this party. It's going to be a fun time. I don't know what sporting events are going on that night. Is there going to be like an NFC championship game or AFC championship game? Are we missing something for that? But we're going to have a party.
No.
What sports are going on that day?
I don't know. We're gonna have to go ahead and check. We're gonna have to look in the future here and find out what's happening. I'm sure there's gonna be something going on.
We have a super chat coming on in from the Drew Show. He's blessed us with some super chats.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Comes out and says Ime Udoka was the prince who was promised, but Pop refused to abdicate his throne. That's the truth. So
I'm out now. You all haters
I'm out now.
can
All
go
you
buy
haters
your
can
safe
go
place.
go buy your safe space. Drew Show out. See you next year.
Thanks, Drew.
He never left. We all know that he had to have had a burner, right?
No, I did. I mean, I didn't ban him. He was always welcome. You know, just
Just
gotta
playing.
watch the language. That's it, dude.
Tony Annalis reaches out to us and says, I'm not drinking in 2026. Says Little Woodrows have homemade lemonade. No liquor for me. Can I get some liquor?
Well, it sucks to be you, Tony, because we're gonna be drinking.
A lot of people are doing the dry January. And to that, I say, why? Why? One of our listeners, Greg Dela Cruz, it's also his birthday. So
Oh,
we'll be
yeah?
celebrating his birthday there at our shindig as well. So it's going to be kind of a dual thing.
Maybe you should invite the Jackals to come out, Mike.
I would love for the Jackals to come out, man. There's no Spurs game that night, so come on over, baby. Come on over.
I got to tell my boy Spurnandez, man. I'm gonna say, hey, bro, you might have to fly out here for this one.
Yeah. And I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it.
God,
I'll tell him the joke later on.
please. We do have an announcement to make, though, that I want to say here because you know about it as well. We do have a new sponsor that's going to be coming on board here.
Oh,
So the new sponsor, Mike, is none other than Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
there you go. Yeah, we've been working on that one for the better part of a month. I'd say I've been in the background for that. That's been you and Sean working that angle, having the meetings and whatnot. So what Hard Rock Cafe is doing, and can I divulge some of the details?
Yeah, go
of
ahead
stuff?
and divulge the details. We're going to do some events out there.
Yeah, so I want to go into that. So Hard Rock Cafe has asked for us to help promote their new bar and their new speakeasy and all the things that they have going on there. They're going to be more towards not the music side of things, but the sports side of things. So we're going to have a party out there every couple of months or so. But the 2 days that we have identified have been the April NFL draft for the day one. And we're also looking at the NBA draft as well in June. So we'll have those parties out there at Hard Rock Cafe downtown. And it's overlooking the city. It's a beautiful venue. And we'd like to welcome Hard Rock Cafe to the Area 210 podcast family. And thank you to Sean Quintero from PF Chang's La Cantera for giving us the referral, if you will, and handing us the ball, man. Appreciate that.
Speaking of PF Chang's La Cantera again, it's Wines Day Wednesday. So remember, on Wednesdays, it's half off all bottles of wine and champagne all day, every day on Wednesday. So if you go out there, make sure you go ahead and tell Sean Quintero, Area 210 sent you out there.
Sam Salinas is asking when Planet Hollywood will become a sponsor.
God, dude.
Man, Planet Hollywood was fun back in the day. I mean, it still exists in Vegas as far as a
Yeah.
casino is concerned. Actually, Planet Hollywood is one of my favorite casinos in Vegas.
Didn't they have Sylvester Stallone or somebody come through when it first opened?
Oh yeah, it was Sylvester
Right?
Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis. They
Yeah.
all rolled in town when Hard Rock when Planet Hollywood opened up downtown. That was fun, man. That was back in the day. Um, that's amazing, man. San Antonio, the downtown area, that bar scene that's around Hard Rock. I'm glad to see Hard Rock is reinvesting within themselves because the Riverwalk needs to amp it up a little bit. And I saw the renovations done at the Esquire. Looked
Yeah.
really good for Christmas. Now you see the renovations being done at Hard Rock, and now down the street you have that dance venue, Be Kind Rewind, and then you have those little bars that have popped up open. They've been around for years, but they've become more active. They need to compete with the Pearl,
Yeah.
and the Pearl has a certain type of vibe. And what I like about what's going on at Hard Rock, and then you look at further down, whether it be 1919 in Southtown, Rosario's in Southtown, that they're bringing a different vibe. It's a competing vibe. And you can start at one and go to the other, start at the other, go to this one. There's nothing wrong with that. And so we're really happy to be partnering with the Hard Rock Cafe because, you've been out there, Joe. Tell us about the venue. You showed me
So,
photos and videos of the venue. Tell us
yeah,
about it.
what the Hard Rock Cafe has going on for our listeners here and what they've been doing as well is they've been opening up the third level. So Hard Rock has the street level, basically the Riverwalk level. They have a second level where they have more memorabilia and whatnot, but people don't know they have another level above that. And that third level is where they have their pop-up bar. And the pop-up bar that they have there, it's really cool. And the way that it's laid out is amazing. Great view of the city skyline as well, by the way. And they're working on another room, a secret room back there. It's like the velvet room. It's green velvet room. It's going to be where they're going to serve like high-end martinis and they're going to have cigars and whatnot out there. And they want us to do events out there. They can do a lot of things, man. It's exciting to partner with them. It's a good opportunity for us to grow our brand, to go ahead and help the Hard Rock as well. And more importantly, it's a great space for the listeners to come out and enjoy these festivities with us.
Now we have had events before where we've had um dive bar experiences, right? Then we've had neighborhood bars like Pete's Place, and then we have that other brewery there off of Tezel
Yeah.
that we did as well. This is more along the lines of bring your girl, bring a
Yes.
date.
Yes.
Wear some nice jeans, wear a nice shirt, class it up, boots, not wearing Spurs gear, not wearing cowboy gear, but class up the place and have a few craft cocktails. Have the
Yeah.
good stuff. This is Area 210 after dark.
Yeah. And the cool thing is that the Hard Rock has the let's say facilities here where you can go ahead and bring your girl, you can bring your wife, you can bring your Sancha if you want to.
Jeez.
But the cool thing is that they have great drinks out there for both of you guys, for the
Yeah.
men and for the ladies. The other thing is they have restroom facilities up there as well, and they have a great selection of food. More importantly, so if you have good restrooms, right, good drinks out there that everybody can enjoy, and you have a good food selection, it's a win-win because you have to keep the wives happy in order
Mhm.
to keep the guys there as well, keep the men happy as well. So it's a win-win for both of y'all. Bring her out.
And we have a message from Tex-Mex Frank on our chat powered by PF Chang's La Cantera saying, congratulations on the new sponsorship. The show is now Hard Rock Cafe and throbbing.
Nice.
If you get the
nice.
show, you get the show.
Oh, God.
2001 Forever says, can we please, for 2006, cancel the word vibe? Or back in the day? Oh, my God. Back in the day, I
Oh
would
my
understand. I'll try to get away from back in the day, but vibe, you know, is there a better word for vibe? You don't want to use the word feelings,
I don't
but
know,
vibe
man.
vibe does sound a little childish. I'll agree. I have to work on that one. Give me an example of what I can use aside from vibes.
I don't know, dude. That'd be aura. Look at that's a good one.
The
Aura.
aura, the aura. Come on, man. If I use the word aura, you guys would just kill me for using that phrase, man.
Look at Tornillo Dallas. Bring your Sancha, mira, Joe, do tell, confess your sins, mijo. Whatever, Tony. You're a happily married man, so that's what he always reverts back to. I'm a happily married man. I can't be talking about that. Don't implement me.
Hey, we have a battle going on at our running contest. By the way, our map my walk contest right now. We have about 8 people taking part right now.
Yeah.
The guy that we have on our chat, known as Black Bucket, did 4 miles of walking yesterday.
Jeez.
Way to go, Black Bucket. Now, according to our challenge right now, Jen Noriega is currently in first place. This week has walked 5.5 miles. Alex Noriega is in second place at 5.0 miles. I'm in third at 4.9. Black Bucket at 4.1. Mario Cavazos at 2.0. Interesting.
Look at what Greg says. Has me dying, dude. 2 things I wake up with: a hard rock and an ambition to make more money, Mike. Oh,
You know what I
man.
love? What I love is that I'll use a phrase 2 or 3 or 4 times and people remember it, man. You know, one of the things was when Spernandez and I were in Dallas. This guy came up to us and said that he listened in Dallas, and he was spouting off some of the phrases that you and I use, Joe.
Yeah.
Just like off the top of his head, is boom, 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 and it was so funny, man. Chica was just making fun of our listeners the other day, not making fun of our listeners just in particular, but
Yeah.
just podcasters in general. She was there saying, I don't understand podcasts, because she was talking about how her brother was talking about how he listens to our show every once in a while, Chica's brother.
Yeah.
And Chica's brother was also talking about how he listens to certain podcasts or YouTube shows. And her son listens to podcasts. And she's like, I don't understand this. She goes, I've never had the desire to listen to people talk, is what she says, right? And I said, well, it's no different than you watching TikToks all night long, because she'll sit there and she'll go for a good 30 minutes to an hour watching TikTok or watching Facebook or Instagram reels and whatnot. I said, there's no difference. It's just another method of entertainment. We like what we do because we talk sports. We talk Spurs, Cowboys, Longhorns, Aggies, whatever the case may be. But it's fun. It's a community that we have here, man. It's a community that we've built, and it's pretty cool, man. We're a lot of us are Spurs fans. A lot of us are disappointed, but the Spurs battle on and back in action. What tonight? Who do we got tonight? We got the Lakers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they got the Lakers. So this is the big game for the San Antonio Spurs. They're going to want some revenge against the Lakers here. So they beat them at the Emirates Cup, but that's always a game that they get up for. Lakers get up to play the Spurs because they have a heated rivalry there,
Right.
going back into the days of Kobe and Shaq and all that. But it's always a game that's prime time. 8:30 p.m. is a tip here in San Antonio. That's kind of late, but again, it's a prime time game. So Spurs fans are going to be out there. But I got to tell you, man, every time the Lakers come to town, the arena is flooded with Laker fans, man.
It is.
Every time.
It is sickening. The Spurs have a massive spread on this game. How are we favored by 8.5?
That's crazy, dude.
8.5? You serious? I don't know. We'll talk about that. At least we'll have that game.
Look at this. JHNSB brings up a good point. If the Spurs lose tonight, they can fall to the 5th seed.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the 2nd. That's dangerous waters right now. This is going to be, if there was a must win, this is it for the San Antonio Spurs. You got to have this game against the Lakers.
Not only for the standings like today, but also for the standings of like tiebreaker status, right? You want to be able to beat them and stuff like that. Joe, we need to get some love to PF Chang's La Cantera. They're our sponsor of our show. I want to talk about the NFL on the other side because we have another coach that got fired and an interesting wrinkle in that firing that we'll get into on the other side. Joe, I might not be back when we come back. Give me about a minute, okay?
All right, sounds good.
And it's Wednesday. PF Chang's.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. All right, so thank you to PF Chang's La Cantera for sponsoring this show. And also, again, it's Wednesday, so make sure you go out there. Again, on Wednesdays, they have half off bottle of wine and champagne every day, all day on Wednesday.
That's right. That's right. Don't forget the lychee martini, $8.99. The jade margarita, the lemon drop martini, also $8.99 for a limited time right now.
The lychee is my favorite. Eat the moco.
Dude, it looks like the alien from the movie Alien. I mean, I know it does. It looks like it's a gross looking fruit, but it's delicious. It's the one on the second to the left right there.
Yeah.
A little brain looking thing right there. It's good.
Tastes like a grape.
It's sweet, but not super sweet, right? And the texture's fine. The texture's like a peach. It's fine. But you have the mule, you have the margarita, all this stuff, the PF Chang's $8.99 cocktail collection. Let's just go ahead and say that Chica has them 8 for 8. She will take any of the 8.
I almost got all of them already. I just got to try the mule, I think, and the Long Island. I've had every other cocktail you've had that is displayed on here, and they've all been very good.
I've had 5 of the 8. I laid off the Long Island iced tea when I was 23 years old, man. I mean,
do it.
Back in the day, man, you'd show up at the club. You show up at Joe's Volcano and you'd be like, I only got $20, It's kind of like that Pitbull song, I knew my rent was going to be late 3 weeks ago. I only got a few bucks in my pocket. You got to make it last. That's where you go with the Long Island iced tea, baby. That's all those 4 liquors. Hey, we were talking about these coaches that have been getting axed, right?
Yeah.
We saw the Eberflus from the Cowboys, defensive coordinator, got the axe. The surprise one was John Harbaugh of the Baltimore Ravens, Joe. On a scale of 1 through 10, how surprised were you that Harbaugh got the boot?
I haven't been surprised. I wasn't really surprised about this one. The only thing is he's a good coach, but has his time with the Ravens really had come to an end already, right? Because even under his reign, they just seemed to they couldn't get over the hump, right? There was always something. Something happened. They couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't get to the Super Bowl, again. And they would get into the wild card. They would have that, first round matchup there. It just seems like something just was amiss. I don't know. Maybe new leadership will help this Ravens team, but we'll see. But it was time, dude. I think at the end of the day, he knew it was time to go. And I think, as for all intents and purposes, the Ravens knew it as well. They had a mutual agreement. It wasn't like they just called him in the room and said, "You're fired." They both probably said at the same time, "Yeah, it's time to move on. My tenure here is done."
They chose Lamar Jackson over their coach, is basically what they did.
But look at what it says here. Adam Schefter has been reporting that Harbaugh is expected to be the favorite for the Giants head coaching gig.
Let's talk about that, because John Harbaugh's agent said that within an hour of him being fired, that 7 teams called asking about interest. Right? Yeah. There are not 7 openings in the NFL, which means that all 6 coaches that are 6 coaching openings that are there asked about him, and a team that has a current coach that is not fired called about him. Right? There are 7 openings, but the Ravens were going to be one of the ones that called in, right? But the other 6 plus another team, according to the agent of John Harbaugh. But why John Harbaugh? Well, Joe, I mean, look at the pedigree. His record, Joe, as a head coach is 180 and 113. That's a 614 winning percentage. He has a winning record in the playoffs, 13 playoff wins, and he has a Super Bowl victory for the Ravens back in 2013.
Yeah.
He was also the coach of the year for the NFL in 2019. Coaches like this don't come up very often, Joe. They're usually retreads, right? Because we see back in the day it was Jeff Fisher. Back in the day it was, these coaches that just get retread. It's just, there's never a sexy head coach to go out there and be available. John Harbaugh.
Was it back in the day
who
for
are the Ravens
going to get?
Who are the? It was. That's actually the name I was going to go with. Who are the Ravens going to get that's better than John Harbaugh? I'll wait and listen. Well, this is stupid for the Ravens to do this because there's not a better coach out there available. Because guess who the best coach available is right now? John Harbaugh.
So they fumbled the bag, Mike, is what you're saying.
They did, and Lamar Jackson missed half the season. And they were a 44-yard kick away from making the playoffs and winning the division. Why are you
You know what team knows the value of Jim Harbaugh? That would be the Miami Dolphins. Because look at this. Being reported by Yahoo Sports, Mike, the Dolphins have been in touch with John Harbaugh per Josina Anderson.
Again,
Mike McDaniel is still the Miami's head coach.
So that's the one. That's the one. So thank you for bringing that to my attention because, again, agent for John Harbaugh said within 1 hour of him getting canned, 7 teams called. That's how you know that. You know what this is like? This is like those videos, those like Facebook and Instagram reels or TikToks where they're like, yeah, you get out of the car, man. I don't need you, girl. I don't need you, girl. And the girl gets out of the car within like 5 seconds. There's another guy that rolls up, in another car, a nicer car. Get inside, baby. Get inside. That's what John Harbaugh is. John Harbaugh is the hot girl that got told to get out of the car. And all these Maseratis are coming up next to him, going,
she didn't make it down the block. Somebody scooped her up.
By the way, did you see who the Titans are reportedly about to sign as their head coach?
I hope that's a joke, man. I saw that. I saw the clapper. I'm like, come on, man.
I had a tweet that with Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac gif on there. Return of the clap.
Look at that.
Return of the clap.
That's an evil smile, Mike. That looks like there's a lot of evil behind that smile, man. Look at him, dude. Come on. You look creepy in that picture, dude.
Joe, I mean, we may have a world where Jason Garrett's there, but imagine, but look who the leading candidate for getting John Harbaugh is the Giants, Joe. That is bad news for the Cowboys because what does he have? He has Jackson Dart. He's got Scatterboo.
Yeah.
He's got a good defense. I'm just saying, Harbaugh has the gravitas. He has the cachet. He has the respect of the NFL, man.
Yeah. Why would they be interested in Garrett, though? I mean, of all the people, Jason Garrett?
Because Tennessee is a small market. I know it's Nashville, but it's still a small market mentality when it comes to coaching. That's why that's why they get bad coaches over there, man. But you give Harbaugh in New York. That's crazy. By the way, did you know that the Las Vegas Raiders have $50 million dedicated to head coaches that don't coach them anymore? After getting rid of Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll and the 3 coaches prior are still on the payroll for next season. $50 million combined.
That's crazy, man.
So I've been seeing this talk online, and I don't know how much is being said about this, but Kurt Cignetti, the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers football team, who they're in the Final Four, the semifinals coming up this week, which I believe is tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. The Las Vegas Raiders have the number 1 pick in the draft. Everyone and their mama believes it's going to be a quarterback, and that person would be Fernando Mendoza, who was the Heisman Trophy winner. And someone suggested online, and it has this theory that I believe is true. that they're going to hire Indiana's coach to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. What would you rather be? The head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers? Even though you're national champion potentially, now that Ohio State and Bama are gone, you're now the favorite to win it all. Or would you rather be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders and have your quarterback come with you in Fernando Mendoza? I think it's an interesting take. And the theory is that the Raiders are being nice about it because notice how you have all these coaches, right? Who we see these reports about Miami saying that they're interested in John Harbaugh. We have the Giants interested in John Harbaugh. We see Jason Garrett having interest from Tennessee. The one team that's not showing quote unquote any interest is who? Las Vegas Raiders. Why? They're waiting for this guy to finish his national title run.
And then pick him up.
And the second that they lose or win it all, come knocking on the door. Would you blame him?
No.
It's not like Indiana is Ohio State or Texas or Penn State, one of the top schools to coach at. I just said you win a natty, but are you going to win the natty without Fernando Mendoza? No. They're going to go back to being the middle of the pack of the Big Ten next year. Why not jump? His stock will never be higher than it is this week, this month there in Indiana. I bet you he goes to the Raiders.
That's going to be tough, man. If you go to the Raiders, like why?
to coach your guy, Mendoza.
You know, like, but the Raiders are garbage, though. You know that team has a lot of problems.
But look at it this way: you have Mendoza at quarterback. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have Ashton Genty at running back.
Yeah,
who was the first round draft pick, and then their best catch option would be Brock Bowers, who's the tight end, who was their first round of the year before that. I'm just saying, you get an offensive line around those guys, good things might happen. Genty can't block for crap, though. He's the worst blocking running back out there. But you at least have some form of team there. There's some talent there that's top tier. You then have to build from the trenches, get the offensive line and defensive line going. I'm just saying that Indiana coach, unless he wants to be a lifer at Indiana, what's the point of being there? We saw Lane Kiffin, dude. Lane Kiffin jumped ship during the playoffs to go to LSU. Why? Because LSU is a bigger program and is a sexier program than Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You got to make a move.
Got to do something, man. Can't just let it stay pat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not make a move. You know what else happened, too? I was noticing here that the Lions, they went ahead and said, much like the Cowboys did, they went ahead and let go of their defensive coordinator. The Lions actually let go of their offensive coordinator, John Morton, after one season. The team has officially announced per Yahoo Sports. It was so bad that head coach Dan Campbell took away Morton's play calling duties during the year. He had seen enough, man. Why'd they let the brother go sooner?
You know, some of these teams have coaches that know that they're on the hot seat. And Dan Campbell is, if you were to just describe him in one word, is testosterone. This is all that he is. And he gets ahead of himself when it comes to it all. He's the reason why they've been successful. I mean, I know they did make the playoffs this year, but they were, 9-8? So it's not a bad year. They just didn't make the playoffs. You know, they were a couple of games away from being back in it. I just think that a lot of these teams are not allowing for there to be consistency there. There's some that need to be changed. You know, the Eberflus thing with the Cowboys is interesting because they get 511 points, more than 30 points per game, the sixth worst all time in NFL history. But at the same time, you're trying to develop a culture. You know what the culture is for the Cowboys? Mm-hmm. That it's a revolving door defensively at defensive coordinator. This is their fourth defensive coordinator that they're going to have in 4 years, which means that those who are already there have to learn new play calling, have to learn new terminology, it's like if you are a fourth-year player for the Cowboys, think about that. This is their fourth defensive coordinator. It's like you can't go into camp going, we're going to build on what we did last year and get better on what we did last year. It's like, nope, everything that you learned, junk it. We're going to start all over again. This is no different than the Cleveland Browns. I saw a meme the other day that says every time the Browns change their head coach, it's a reminder to change the batteries on your fire detectors because it happens every year.
This is true.
I don't know,
We
man.
do got some breaking news here too, Mike. Look at this, man. Just saw this as you're talking, and I'm looking to see what's going on here on social media. It's just been announced here 36 minutes ago that quarterback Ty Simpson has informed Alabama of his intention to turn pro, per Pete Thamel.
Yeah, Ty Simpson could projected to be a top 10 first pick in the first round. Fernando Mendoza will go number 1 overall. You're going to hear these stories that Ty Simpson should be considered, but really he should not. The big question is going to be, are there going to be 2 or 3 first rounders picked in the quarterbacks picked in the top 10? Because you have one who says he doesn't want to go to the Jets.
Who wants to go to the Jets? Nobody wants to play for them, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the mock draft right now. It's Dante Moore out of Oregon. Dante Moore says, if the Jets want to take me in 2 number overall, I don't want to go. I want to stay in college, get the NIL money, and come back and be a top pick the following year. Imagine that, Joe, being the number 2 overall pick in the draft and being like, nah, not to that organization. But wouldn't that be not only them, but wouldn't that be also, I don't know, the Browns that you would want to go to?
Probably, but I think the Jets are worse than the Browns.
Yeah.
This is the Yahoo Sports mock draft, 2026 NFL mock draft. And look at who they have, Mike, 1 through 10. You can read the names off.
Yeah,
there.
you got Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana going to the Raiders. They have Dante Moore, who, again, does not want to go to the Jets. They have him pegged going to the Jets. Arvell Reese, linebacker of Ohio State, going to Arizona. Carnell Tate, the wideout from Ohio State, going to the Tennessee Titans. Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle from, I believe, Utah, going to the Giants. And then Francis Mangua going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Is that Cleveland? Yeah, that's Cleveland. Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain might actually be the best player in this whole draft. The edge from Miami going 7 to the Washington Commanders. And then they have the New Orleans Saints taking cornerback Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. God, man, the Saints have so many different needs, man. So many.
They need a quarterback, Mike.
Yeah, don't get me started on that, man. We're not going to be any good for a long time. But I'm looking at all the mock drafts right now. Yahoo Sports released its mock draft right now. Cowboys right now picking at 12 and potentially at 20. They have the Cowboys taking at number 12. Keldrick Falk, an edge out of Auburn.
Man.
And they're debating whether or not, Yahoo Sports is debating whether or not the Cowboys would go after Jeremiah Love at that point. Because, again, this is a very Jerry Jones-ish pick. Jeremiah Love, the stud running back, the top running back in the draft, would more than likely be available at 12. Do you go for need, or do you look at Jeremiah Love and go,
dude,
have a Jeremiah Love go with, with the CD Lambs of the world, and go with the George Pickens of the world? Do you want to have another offensive weapon for Dak Prescott there?
That's interesting, man, because what if you don't get Pickens, right? You can't pick him back up.
Right.
You let him walk because he's going to command too much money. Got to do something. You have to have another target.
How about this, though? Because Yahoo Sports right now on their mock draft today, that got released today, saying that if Jeremiah Love falls to number 20 in the draft, that the Cowboys basically have no choice but to take him at 20. This is the pick that they would have gotten for the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah.
So maybe go, okay, we don't get him at 12. Maybe you get the best defensive player available at 12, which is the same spot that they were at when they got Micah Parsons back in the day. I said back in the day.
Chancla.
Okay, but would you fault them for going after Jeremiah Love at 20, or would you want them going for some defensive tackle who's you're not gonna know their name ever again? Like Mozzie Smith from Michigan back in the day.
I gotta agree with Rafa on this one, man. He goes, "You get Love, best player available."
And then again, you have that song like Tupac and Dre back in the day. You go Jeremiah Love. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah,
Look at
Rafa
that.
saying Devontae Williams and Love would be a great 1-2 punch. And that's the way running backs are in the NFL, right? You know, you have a thunder and lightning type of mentality where you have two running backs, one that's more of a flashier back and one that is the big getter, and then the one that moves the chains, right? That's what you need there.
Yep.
So I wouldn't hate it for the Cowboys. But again, the Cowboys did this in the past with Ezekiel Elliott, right? They
Yeah.
took Zeke, what was it, number 3 in the draft back
Yeah.
about a decade ago. I was gonna say back in the day, but I didn't.
Back in the no. Like Pickens is going to get franchised.
Yeah.
Ugh. That might happen. I mean, but you got to admit, man, Pickens and CD, that was a great 1-2 punch for the Cowboys. It paid off big for them. But can they afford to keep him? That's the problem. I mean, you can give him money, but is he going to want to go ahead and get money for less years, or he's going to want to get more money for an extended period of time, more than 3 years or so? You know?
Right. Locking up $120 million for 2 wideouts and a quarterback is wild, just thinking about it. So TMZ has a very interesting article that just came out literally about an hour ago. And we got to talk about bro code, man.
God, man.
If you go to TMZ.com,
Okay.
Chris Redd of Saturday Night Live is dating the ex-wife of Kenan Thompson. How bad on a scale of 1 through 10 is bro code on this? It says that Chris Redd, the comedian, was in tears on Instagram this week, breaking his silence on dating his pal Kenan Thompson's ex-wife, saying the relationship started when she showed up for him during a rough chapter in his life, and admitting he went through a rough time with pills.
Damn.
Joe, there's certain rules, man. Remember the movie that movie back in the day with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, Men at Work? And then one guy says there's 2 rules in life: you never touch a man's woman, and you never touch a man's fries. I'm sorry, but it's one thing if somebody went on a couple of dates with somebody and it didn't work out, right? Or they dated for a few weeks, it didn't work out. But if you were married to somebody, if your friend was married to somebody, you can't go date their ex. I'm sorry. Even if there's no more feelings, even if it was amicable, no, man, you can't do that. Joe, what are your thoughts, man?
No, man, that's shiesty, dude. That's shiesty behavior. You don't do that kind of stuff. If you do things like that, immediately you are cast out of the circle of trust from the homies, man.
I mean,
you're outcast.
There's literally 3.5 billion women, and it's not like this guy lives in Des Moines, Iowa, where there's not a lot of women there that he'd be attracted to. He lives in Manhattan.
Then that means that he always had a thing for her. He just snatched her up that quick, man. Come on.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Tony Ronaldo says, if I was single and you divorced Chica and if we met and it was good, then I'm sorry, bro. You'd be out of the circle. You'd be banned from Area 210, man.
Out of the circle of trust.
No, but I read that headline. I was there thinking, no, you can't do that, man. That is like, okay, that is douchebaggery to the highest level, right? This is kind of like, and I hate to say it this way, Tony Parker with Brent Barry's wife. Whether anything actually happened or not, the sexting was bad enough.
Yeah.
You can't. You just don't do that. There's certain rules to things. You don't hit on your friend's girl. That is it. You don't get into a relationship with their ex either. Their ex-spouse. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Like you said, there's certain codes, certain things you don't cross, you know?
SR 2001 says that's some Marbach type crap.
Scandalones. That's like stuff that'll happen in a Mexican novela, dude. You know?
I was showing Chica the episode of Modern Family. She likes Modern Family, not as much as I do. When I'm working at home, I've got Modern Family on in the background a lot, right? Modern Family. I have TV shows like Schitt's Creek or um, Abbott Elementary, just something that's mindless, just on in the background,
Yeah.
right? And I showed her the episode where it was a novella, a novella where Mitch and Cam are trying to adopt a baby, and they're going to the hospital, and there's a fight between the nurses, and a priest shows up saying that the grandma knows and all that stuff, and it was shot like a novella with Sofia Vergara's character narrating between the two, like translating between the two. It was so fun. That's one of the better episodes that they ever had. Mario Cavazos, it's puro sloppy seconds. Gacho.
No, bro. Hey, we do got some news here. So let me go ahead and show you what's happening, Mike. You know your favorite boy over here, Tiger Woods, right?
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Yeah, so look at what's happening here. It's being reported by Yahoo Sports. Tiger Woods is set to have the ultimate 50th birthday party, which is going to include, Mike, these performances from some of his friends. A Bon Jovi performance, a Masters-themed menu, a title sponsor, Woods TGR Foundation, a touch of red dress code.
Okay. So, Joe, I mean, I would love to go to this party, right? But have you heard John Bon Jovi sing lately?
Oh, bro, he ain't got it no more, man. He's old, dude.
He lost his pipes, dude.
I mean, he could do that when he was in his 20s, dude. But now, no, man, he got it.
He can sing "Bed of Roses," right? Because it's a low register. You try to get him to sing "I'll Be There for You" or "Living on a Prayer," where it's upper register. Can't do it anymore, dude. He has no voice to do it anymore. Which brings up the topic, Joe, of music. And this is a topic brought to you by Hard Rock Cafe.
There you go.
See the Hard Rock music topic, Joe.
That's a great segue. Great segue.
Our new sponsor, Hard Rock Cafe downtown. Is it okay to be a Bon Jovi fan? Because we talked about Nickelback earlier, how Nickelback is like, you know, they were on the outs for so long. People are ashamed to admit that they like them, and then all that stuff, right? We were talking about how bands like Warrant and Winger were like there were people's guilty pleasures. You weren't going to admit that you were a fan of them or Color Me Bad or whatever.
Or Nickelback.
Bon Jovi. We cool with Bon Jovi? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I would never go see them in concert. But if you had to ask me, Joe, how many songs on Spotify I have saved, what do you think the answer would be? What do you think the answer would be?
Mike. Quite a bit,
Okay,
Mike.
I'll pull up Spotify right now, Joe. Give me an over-under. What's the over-under number of songs that I have liked by Bon Jovi?
I'd say at least 5. At least 5.
9.
What are they? I'm afraid to ask.
Runaway. She's a little runaway. That was their first hit.
Yeah.
Always, which had a musical. The music video had Carla Gugino, a young Carla Gugino in that movie, in that video. Bed of Roses. It's a good song, dude.
Okay.
I'll Be There for You. The women love that song. You Give Love a Bad Name. Living on a Prayer. I have 8, by the way. Not Wanted Dead or Alive. Come on, man. And then the theme to Young Guns 2.
Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory.
No, Mike. You're gonna be singing on the top of the damn truck.
Don't
like you did
know
in that
where
video?
I'm going. Only God knows where I've been. I'm a devil on a run, a six-gun lover, a candle in the wind. Yeah.
Look at that. Mexican Junior says Jimenez sings "Bed of Roses" to Chica every night.
I want to lay you down in a bed of roses. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Hey, man, I mean, sometimes you gotta get that hotel with the rose petals on the bed, dude. So
Oh man,
let's just say I haven't sang it, but I've done the action.
you know what I love the most is when Chica tells on you, dude. She has me dying, man. She likes to tell on Mike sometimes, and it has me laughing. Like this last time, what did she tell me? You know where Mike took me? And
Oh, yeah, bad restaurants.
when you came to pick up your gift or drop off your gift, right? She comes out of the truck and she tells me, Joe, you know where Mike took me to this Italian restaurant, right? And she says, I asked for the wine menu. And what did they say? We
We
have
didn't have no.
Pepsi.
We have Pepsi.
She goes, they didn't even have any diet Pepsi. I'm like, no, Mike.
Yeah, she does not like it when I take her to a place that does not have wine.
Yeah,
You know, by,
I get that.
by the way, we have Mexican Junior saying, "Did I include bad medicine?" I did not, but I'm adding that to the list.
There you
So,
go.
so is it okay to be a Bon Jovi fan? I'm not a Bon Jovi diehard, but it is what it is, man. I mean, it's part of our youth, right? I equate Bon Jovi to like Def Leppard, right?
Yeah.
It's stadium sing along rock, right? You know, like how many Def? Okay, what's the overrun on Def Leppard songs, Joe?
Def Leppard
This conversation brought to you by Hard Rock Cafe.
Def Leppard, I'd say you'd have at least 3 or 4 in the mix.
I have 12 Def Leppard songs.
Damn, Mike.
I have Let's Get Rocked, Animal, Hysteria, Bringing on the Heartbreak, Rocket. Well, Hysteria twice, so that's 11. Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Armageddon, Foolin', Photograph, and Rock of Ages. I like Def Leppard. I got to interview Def Leppard one time. Didn't see them. I didn't see their show, but I did a live shot at their show, and I interviewed their guitarist Phil Collin. He's one of the nicest musicians I've ever met. Yeah, I don't mind Def Leppard, but that's like stadium rock, right? To me, the stadium rock thing goes like this, Joe. It goes like Queen to like Def Leppard to Bon Jovi to Stone Temple Pilots to I don't know who would be the stadium rock of these days. It's just single
Stadium rock bands. You know who's a stadium rock band? Low key, nobody really cares about, I guess. Muse.
Muse, yeah.
Muse is a great stadium rock band. Like they put on a performance, and if you haven't seen them, like in these huge football stadiums and whatnot, that place is jam packed, and it's very interactive. Like they got these huge screens, and they have like drones and stuff, and like the guy has the lead singer has this big old, I believe it's like some type of a selfie stick or something.
Yeah,
and he can like really put that thing up in the air, and he has the camera there, and he's panning it around as he's playing the guitar and all that. It's crazy, dude, what they can do nowadays.
Well, I look at other bands. Muse is a very interesting take. The Killers are a stadium rock band.
Yeah.
So is Weezer. So is Counting Crows. I mean that's a band where you sing along to what they've got going on.
Yeah, they're old school, man.
You might even say Blink-182 in some respects.
Yeah.
Is that type of
Green Day? Green Day would be a good one.
You know, it's funny to mention Green Day, Joe. I was talking to somebody about Green Day the other day. Green Day is to me the movie Avatar, which I saw for the first time last week. God, Avatar is the type of movie that it was like, yeah, it was good, but if I never see it again,
you're right.
You know,
I
might. You know, what's that song from the Chainsmokers with Halsey? You know, tell your friends it was nice to meet them, but I hope to never see them again. Great line to a song. That is the movie Avatar to me. Nice to see it. I hope to never see it again. If I had to pick a band from back in the day that everybody loves, but I'm like,
Shankla.
I'm okay. It's Green Day. I like them.
Oh, come on, Mike.
American Idiot, Basket Case,
man.
all all those songs, right? Boulevard of Broken Dreams, all of that stuff, right? I like it. But if I never hear it again, I might. If I never see Jeremy Sohan in a Spurs uniform again, I might.
Look at that.
I
They're
don't need
saying
that.
another band, 3 Doors Down, man. Pour
I
some
love me
out
some
for
Three Door
them,
Down.
man.
And
They're
prayers to
lead
Brad
singers.
Arnold, the lead singer.
Yeah, man. He's going through it, dude. So, you might have just seen the last performance of them together. One of the last ones here when they came to San Antonio with Creed,
Yeah. Hey, we saw Sam Salinas and Collective Soul puts on an awesome show.
Yeah.
I would argue that, of the top 3 concerts I ever went to, Collective Soul was one of the top 3 that I ever went to. I saw them at the Texas Motor Speedway, and they were with No Doubt, Bush, Matchbox 20, Third Eye Blind, Presidents of the United States of America, Toadies. It was a great show. Jewel.
Toadies was coming to they already came. I think it was in December when they went to the Aztec Theater.
At the Aztec, there you go.
Yeah.
But I saw Collective Soul, and they put on a hell of a show. And I remember, I remember they sang "Shine."
Yeah.
And Collective Soul, the singer, was like, "Yeah." The song ended, and there was 100,000 people in the crowd still singing the song, doing the guitar part, like humming it, like yeah. And they got excited. They went back to the middle of the song. They finished it. Went back to the middle of the song and finished it. Went back to the middle of the song and finished it because the crowd was amped up and wanted to hear that part of the song all over again. I remember the singer looking out at the crowd, and I was there really close, him going, "My God, there's so many people there." I'll never forget him saying that. There were so many people there. Sam Salinas saying Green Day sucks. Pearl Jam versus Nirvana, Joe.
Eddie Vedder.
Joe, have you seen that guy? I'm going to send it to you right now. There's you know how you have those wrestlers like we have RCW Wrestling that Carolina Teague is part of.
Yeah.
You have like these. I'm gonna try to see if it's on Twitter. You have these people who go in there and they do these wrestling events, right? They're at community centers or whatever the case may be, right? I just retweeted this. There's a guy who's doing wrestling for a local wrestling outfit.
Yeah.
And I just retweeted it.
I'll go check it out. Let me go and pull it up.
He is grunge themed. And it's hysterical, man.
I'm going to show it right now. God, dude.
He's hysterical. He's wearing double flannel pants, flannel shirt, and he goes by the name Steven Flo. Not even Flo. He goes by Steven Flo.
God. And let's listen to the music. Do they have the music?
Steven is somewhere, I don't know where he is.
Steven Flo. Damn, dude, this is bad, Mike. Steven Flo, bro. No.
Dude, that is so great, man. I gotta send that to Mike Taylor. But it's funny because like back in the day, and I can use that phrase in this sense here because we're going back 30 years, right? 1990s, early 90s. I was into grunge music and I was into Pearl Jam and Nirvana, and I thought it was great and all that stuff. Dude, if I never hear Nirvana and Pearl Jam again, I'm fine.
You're fine. You're not an Eddie Vedder fan?
Well, it's not that I'm not. It's a time capsule. It belongs where it is. It was great when it happened. But do you know what music really lived on for me? And I listened to them back then, but I don't. But I listen to them a lot now. Smashing Pumpkins,
yeah.
Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, STP. I can listen to those bands all day long. But the second I hear Pearl Jam, the second I hear Nirvana, to be honest with you, guess what, man? They were out first. But Soundgarden was better. STP was better. Smashing Pumpkins were better.
Yeah.
The music is not a time capsule that just is dated. You listen to Siamese Dream, listen to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's like it just came out.
Yeah.
Billy
You
Corgan's
know what?
amazing.
It wasn't a movie that came out years ago. Was it? I forgot the name. I think it was Swingers. It might have been, but they had a whole bunch of songs on that album. Like the motion picture soundtrack. They had some bangers on there, man. Like the motion pictures from back in the day. Their soundtracks. Some of
Mhm.
these soundtracks from the early '90s or 2000s and whatnot. They were pretty good. They
Yeah.
had some bangers on there. Like, all right, like this is good. One of them was Swingers. Swingers had a pretty good, soundtrack to it.
Yeah, it had a lot of big band music, a lot of swing dancing music. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy was really big back then. By the way, now I can't ever listen to Even Flow by Pearl Jam without saying
Stephen Flow.
Stephen Flow.
God, dude. I bet you show that to Taylor. He'll be like, what is this? It's true story. One of my friends, he was telling me that one of his buddies that I know, I'm not going to drop names, but way back when, his wife, his ex-wife, she and her family, they had a summer home they used to go to, right? It was out there in the big island of Hawaii somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And her parents are well off. They do well, right? So they had a
Yeah.
nice house out there, summer house they would go to. They would spend the whole summer out there. So the dude says bye to his kids and stuff, and he went and bought his son a bike, right? And he's like, "Look, mijo, for when you get back, I'm gonna show you how to ride this bike." And he's like, kids all excited and whatnot. Guy's ecstatic, man. I can't wait for my son to come back and show him how to ride the bike. Kid goes off for the summer, comes back, and then the dad's like, he's playing music and whatnot, has a TV on in the garage. Excited to see his boy, and he's like, "Man, I've been waiting for you to come back. I'm gonna show you how to ride this bike." He's like, "Oh, I already learned how to ride the bike." He goes, "This guy showed me how to ride the bike when I was out there with mom, in the summertime." And he's like, "Who showed you how to ride this bike? Like that was supposed to be our thing." And the kid points to the TV. And he goes, "That guy showed me how to ride the bike." And guess who he was pointing to? Eddie freaking Vedder, dude. That was the neighbor. So to
That
this
was the
day,
neighbor.
that was the neighbor. He lived next door to them. So to this day, that guy's like, F Pearl Jam, bro. He hates them.
Did you ever hear the story about it's all about bicycles and whatnot? That's funny. That's funny. The story about Dave Matthews going on a bike ride before his concert.
No, I didn't
He's
hear
he's
about
riding
that.
his bicycle up and down. I think it was like off like near Buffalo, New York. It was like upstate New York. And he's riding his bicycle and the chain broke to his bike like 10, 12 miles from the venue. And he hitchhikes and the person that picks him up were his actual fans.
Oh,
And the
wow.
fans were able to get his bike onto their car and take him to the place. And there's like video of it all, and he's like blogging that he's being picked up by fans and whatnot. And he gave them really good seats and whatnot to get in them there. Can you imagine
Yeah.
that, just being out and about and seeing Dave Matthews in the middle of nowhere? Was Dave Matthews any good, Joe? There are a lot
I
of
think it
people
was
that
overhyped. I think it was overhyped. I think what happened is that they caught fire because they became popular, right, with the mainstream crowd. And
yeah.
he had some songs that came out in some motion pictures and whatnot like that. But I think it was just more of a popularity thing as far as them being, goated and like, oh, this is a great band to see live and whatnot. Nah, man, that ain't it. I ain't paying to see no Dave Matthews.
I saw them one time in concert. They were at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater out there. Was that Selma? What
Yeah,
used to be Selma? It was that was a
yeah.
great venue. That was the greatest venue that San Antonio's
Used to be
ever
Rotama
had.
Park.
It was the greatest venue ever for a music event. And
You know
San
who I
Antonio
saw there,
fumbled that
Mike?
bag.
Who
Who?
put on a heck of a show? Aerosmith.
Dude, SCP opened up for them. Joe, there was at that show back in
It was
2003.
it was great, dude.
It wasn't SCP that opened up for them. It was Velvet Revolver that opened up for them.
Great, dude.
Okay, first of all, I had tickets to that show. But the person that wanted to take me was my next door neighbor at my old apartment complex, right? That next door neighbor, female, good looking at the time. I asked my girlfriend at the time, which is Gabby's mom. we weren't married yet. We weren't even expecting yet. And I was like, hey, she has an extra ticket. She knows I'm a big STP fan, Velvet Revolver fan. Mind if I go? She goes, oh, no, you're going with a group of people from them. That's fine. The week of, dude, that girl hit on me, dude. That girl hit on me hardcore. And I did not go to the concert, man. I did not go to the concert.
You know what I say to that?
That show.
Stop the cap.
Joe, there's more to that. There's more to that story that I'm not going to get into. But I'll tell you over at Little Woodrow's. Let's go ahead and show the flyer for Little Woodrow's. Yeah.
Here we go.
There is a 500th episode party. Again, our 500th episode is going to be this Friday over at this Friday is our 500th episode, but we're going to celebrate 500th episode party January 24th. So you have 2.5 weeks to get a babysitter, to get everything in order. If you're from out of town, get a room, get a hotel, whatever the case may be. I'm not, Chica will be there, Joe will be there, and we have special guests. And I know who these guests are, Joe. Can't say who they are, man. Can't say who they are, but you're going to want to be there for these special guests. Our 500th episode party over at Little Woodrow's, the one on West Loop 1604 and Braun Road, which is about 2 exits from UTSA if you're coming from that angle. Very, very
great
nice
stuff, man. We're going to go from 6 to about 10. Of course, we'll probably stay there a little later. But Mexican Junior, it'd be nice to see you, man. I know you've been wanting to hang out with us, and we've been pretty busy. Especially near the end of the year. I've had a lot of personal things going on with me, with the death of my mother-in-law, then my daughter getting married, moving out, getting her ready to go. So it'd be great to see you, man. Hopefully you come out and we can have some drinks.
Very, very nice. I'm looking forward to it. Mexican Junior's a nice guy, dude. He's so nice. He's going to pay for the first couple of rounds for the first 3 people he sees.
I got you, Mexican Junior.
Mike's Tall Tales. Very, very nice. Steamy segue. Very nice.
I'll invite Jeremy Sohan, Mario Cavazos. Nah, man.
Well, he'll be not on the team by then. He might be able to make it. So very, very cool. Everyone have a fantastic day.
They're laughing at you because they hadn't heard the word skanks in a while.
Is that what I was referring to Forrest Gump?
The skanks. Oh my God.
Very nice. Very not nice. Hey, Spurs, Lakers tonight, late tip off 8:30. We'll be talking about the show tomorrow. We'll be talking about this tomorrow. Hopefully the Spurs bounce back. The game's going to be at the Frostbank Center, late start. So those of you going to the game, the Jackals, you're going to be banging the drum at 11 o'clock after the Spurs win, baby. Let's make this happen. Everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you to all the people who have subscribed to the show. Hit the like button. On top of that, again, our party is going to be January 24th. It's a Saturday night over at Little Woodrow's. Thank you to P.F. Chang's La Cantera for sponsoring today's show and powering our chat. And thank you and welcome, shall we say, to Hard Rock Cafe.
Welcome.
For being part of our group and sponsoring our show as well. 2 words,
look at,
badass.
As we go ahead and end the show here, Texas Latina saying, are there going to be any guys there? Or is it just going to be a sausage fest? And it's like, no. Some of the men are bringing their wives with them. So, and one of our friends is going to have his girlfriend out there with him as well. So you want to come out and hang out with this Texas Latina? More than welcome. More than welcome. And Chica will be out there. And usually when we come to San Antonio for things like this, Chica brings friends. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow. See you guys. Have a good day. We're out. Peace.